I'm super excited to be here and to be talking with you about one of my favorite things, which is the D&L Trail. My name is Brian Greene. I am the Director of Trails and Conservation for the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor, and we are a nonprofit that helps support the D&L Trail and the entire 5-county national heritage area. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, talking about some of the different resources that we've made available that'll hopefully allow you to get out and enjoy the beautiful D&L Trail wherever you are, or if you're a local, or if you're a person visiting from afar. So let's see if we can. All right. All right, so hopefully you should be able to see my screen right now. Can somebody give me a nod or a yes if they can see? Yes, okay. It's always weird when you're doing this kind of virtually, going through there. So if you have a question or something, please make sure to ask it in the chat, or you can use one of the raise controls. I'll go through and give this presentation, and then we can, we'll have some times for questions at the end. So hopefully we'll let this be a good discussion for everybody. Okay, so like I said, I work for the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor. We are a nonprofit that's working for the trail. And our mission really is to inspire connections. We're trying to connect people to industrial heritage, to health and wellness, to the economic development, and to nature and the environment. And D&L Trail is one of our signature projects that we do, working with all the different landowners up and down the corridor, over 25 current landowners and eventually up to around 36 future landowners, total landowners in the future. And the D&L Trail is just a great place that you can get out and you can really see all of these 4 pillars in one place. And here's a pretty picture from the Slatington section in Lehigh County. And really what we are going to talk about today is how to plan your trip and really go over some of the resources that we have to help you get out, learn more about the history and learn more about the area, and really get out and have a great trip, whether that is a 1-hour day trip or overnight trip, or even a multi-day trip where you'll see the whole entire trail. So I'm going to skip out of this and go to, so this is the plan your trip page. So if you go to the main D&L website, and you can click on the menu, and you can see right here is plan your trip. And so this is where we have all the materials, and you can follow along online, and we'll go through these one at a time. So we are going to overview our online interactive map, our regional maps. We'll talk a little bit about the new D&L Trail guidebook, digital ride guides, and business in our trail-friendly businesses. So the first is the online interactive maps. So this is a map that will give you information about the different trail sections. So if you're looking to go visit the D&L Trail, it is a good resource to visit because it can give you the most up-to-date current status. Sometimes trail sections need to be temporarily closed due to either construction or like storm damage. And so this is a good place to go where you can check that out beforehand, and it'll allow you to know what the current conditions are. So you'll see this map, and it has the trail on it broken into different segments. And there are different colors. Green means that it is complete, open, and ready for you to use. Orange means that there is some type of obstruction within that trail section, and you need to click on it to see more detail. It doesn't mean that whole entire section is closed. It just means that there is at least a part of it that is not, that there's a blockage on and you need to be aware of. Yellow means that it is unimproved, but is open and you can use it to travel. And then blue is a future section that is in the planning stages. So it is not open for any travel. Let's see right here. So then another feature of this in the top left, they have these little mountain pictures. You can click on that and it'll show you where all the different trailheads are. These are where you can go and park your car and access the trail. We have towns, these red dots, so you can see information about the different towns on there. And then things to do in these yellow dots. These are businesses, museums, other places, interesting things to do around the corridor. But the main reason that people come to this map is to do their, to check the status. So what you can just do is hover your cursor over a section and click on it, and it'll bring it open. It'll tell you what the current status is, the distance between the starting point and the end point, which are 2 trailheads, give you a brief description, and show you some other things to do in the area. So this is a section right here in Lehigh Gorge State Park. And you can pan and zoom in and see different areas like the Perryville Spur down here, or the D&L Trail goes along here. And let me find an area that has a blockage on it so you can see that. So I'll click on this section right here. So this one is alerting that there is an intermittent trail closure because of the construction work on the I-95, I-295 Scudder's Falls Bridge. And so it gives you some little information about when the closures occur. For this one, the trail will be open on weekends, so it's only during weekdays with these intermittent closures. So it's a good resource to be able to go here and be able to look at everything all in one place. Okay. Let's see. So yes, so this map is a really useful feature when a landowner or somebody tells us that there is a problem with the section. We will update it and try to get that information out to different people. If you are looking at this on mobile, I always remind people sometimes it looks a slight bit different. You'll sometimes click on it and you won't be able to see this little extension information box over here. There's a little tab over here that you have to push so you can have it come out and you're able to read the whole thing. So we call this our interactive web map. It is one of the most popular things on the DelawareandLehigh.org website and provides a lot of information about the D&L Trail. So good place to start if you're thinking about going out for a trip. Another place that we have, and let me see how I have them out here, is what we call our regional maps. So we have printed maps for every region of the trail, and you can pick them up at local trail-friendly businesses, at trailheads, visitor centers. We spread them around the area, and so you can have a printed one of these that you can put with you and take on your trip. But we also have them available online on our website. And so you can just download it and view a PDF. We have 4 of them. The whole entire corridor is one that will show you the overall corridor where the trail is, show you the 5 counties and talk about some of the different things that you can see on it. So that one gives you a good entire overview. Not really useful for navigation, but gives you that big picture and talks about the overall D&L Heritage Corridor and our organization. Then we have the anthracite region, which is Luzerne and Carbon County, so the 2 northernmost counties. So you can click on that. These maps are 2-sided maps. They have what we call the guide side that talks a little bit about the different towns and some of the attractions, and then the map side of it over here. And that they show the mile markers. They'll show other parks and other trails in the region, show the towns, the trailheads, and these are great resources. They are one of our most popular things. I'm proud to say, I think that they're might be biased, but I think they're one of the best trail maps out there. So they are super useful for all of our trail users. And this is like a navigation level tool. You can actually use this to navigate on the trail. So it is very useful and provides lots of information. We have a great partner organization, Off the Maps, that helps us make these. And so they are a great resource and one of our most popular things that we make. So this is the Anthracite region one. There's the Lehigh Valley, and then I'll just open up the Delaware Canal. So Delaware Canal is Bucks County and part of Northampton County. So all mainly showing Delaware Canal State Park, our largest landowner, that goes 58.9 miles from Bristol all the way up to Easton along here. Okay, so that is these are our regional and maps that you can have both in print and in and a PDF online that you can access. The next thing that I'll mention is our brand new D&L Trail guidebook. We have a brand new trail guidebook and a companion app, the D&L Discoverer app. I'm not going to talk much about the app today because we will have a different staff member host a different webinar talking specifically about that, but it is a great interactive map if you're into history or trying to delve deeper into tours of the area, and that you can download, and as you're going along the trail or other areas, have an enriched experience along the trail. So that is something that is very new and we're super proud of. But let me show you, let me see if I can show. Here's a preview of our official D&L Trail Guide. These are available for pre-order right now. You can go on the website. To get a printed copy is $15, and you can order that online now, and it'll be shipped to you in March, sometime in March when we get them. You can also pre-order a digital copy that has a suggested donation of $15 also. This is a great new resource that has been a labor of love for the D&L for about a year now, and we are super proud of it. It will show you all sorts of different questions about planning trips, you know, showing you the different regions. I really enjoy this map showing the different regions and how it looks through here, and it'll help you get to know a trail that runs through 5 counties and 2 centuries. So there's all sorts of history, great photos, stories about it, but then really, you know, nuts and bolts question. What kind of bike should I ride? How do I get on there? If I have a 2-day trip, where do I go? If I have, you know, I'm a strong rider and I want to do a 3-day bike packing trip, how would you break that up? And then our full, what we call the 4-day town to town ride, where you'd go over the whole 145 miles of the D&L Trail. It also has questions and answers to the most common things, and then, you know, shows you the different sections of the trail with maps showing the trailheads, giving latitudes and longitude locations, and informations about the state parks and things to do in the region, and then individual maps of the different sections, showing you going from how you go from trailhead to trailhead, and then information about each of the major towns along there with listings of the trail-friendly businesses. So this one is showing Whitehaven, a great town to visit, right off I-80, right along the Lehigh River in Luzerne County. Has great trail-friendly businesses like Pocono Biking or Odds and Ends and the Victorian Connection. So if you haven't been to Whitehaven, I highly recommend it. So yep, so it goes through the whole entire trail. It's over, I think it's 120 pages long. So this will be a great resource if you are planning a trip, especially a multi-day trip. Okay, so that is the guidebook that is coming out now. Get your pre-order in. Members get 10% off. So we encourage you to become a member. The next item that we have are digital ride guides. So these are not paper printed guides, but digital guides to help you. And so we have two types. One, we have created these Ride with GPS guides. Ride with GPS is an app that can provide turn-by-turn directions. So say you're challenged, you don't know how to use a paper map, you need to have that blue dot that says you are here and you're walking along it. Not only will these Ride with GPS guides give you that blue dot, show you where you are, but they will provide turn-by-turn navigation. So if you go the wrong way or head out, they will help you get back on track. So we have one, here's an example of one right here for the broken down by the whole and every segment of the guidebook. So if you wanted to go just do a single segment of the guidebook, you could come here, click on a section. This is the Bethlehem to Easton section. It gives you the distance. It tells you the elevation change on it, and it will provide all sorts of information, tell you about if there's any hazards or different things that you need to be aware of. And you can just download this to your phone. So if you're walking, running, or biking the section, it'll provide those turn-by-turn navigations, and those are available for every section of the guidebook. We also have a couple already for some of the towns, and we'll be building out more of these. So here's one for trips based on Slatington. So show you where the bathrooms are, where the different trailheads are, where our different trail-friendly businesses are, and if you want to explore some of the other trails that go off of it, like the Slate Heritage Trail, a great 6.8 mile ride that would take you up to Slatedale, or one of my favorite little kind of hidden gems, the Walnut Port Canal Spur. So these are sometimes lesser used parts of the D&L Trail system, but this is a great 4-mile section of trail that you can do, out and back for a whole 8-mile trip, some beautiful views, and then, go over and see Diggity Dogs and Boyer's Hardware afterwards for our trail-friendly businesses. And, that would be a great trip. All this is available for free. You just have to download the app, and then you can use this on your own bike computer or smartphone. So we have those for the D&L Trail guidebooks, Slatington, Regalsville, and we'll be building out more towns and rides as we go on. Another cool project we did was these bike out guides. So we worked with the company Bike Out to provide custom curated digital experiences. So say you're a new rider or a new person to the trail and you want to do a overnight trip, a 2-day trip, or a 4-day trip. How would you do that? What information would you need? Well, this takes it all and puts it in one place. We have 3 different ones, one for each region: culture and camping on the Delaware Canal, the industrial revitalization along the Lehigh River, and the outdoor escape in the Lehigh Gorge. And so you can go to their website. These are available for sale. It's $10 to buy these. They give you all the information, custom Ride with GPS route, itineraries, packing list, all sorts of ideas of where to stay, what to go. This is a really, if you're new and starting off, this is a great resource that you can do. You also get special incentives and for local businesses. So it is a great example of if you wanted to get started and plan a trip, this is like pre-packaged all in one place. They've done it. They've already done all the work for you. All right. So those are our digital guides. So Ride with GPS and Bike Out guides that we have available on the website. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about before we open in the questions are our trail-friendly businesses. So frequently, I knew that people would ask me questions about, hey, where do we go on the trail? Where's this trailhead? How far is it to this place? So I was pretty prepared for those types of questions as the director of trails and conservation. But people would ask me, okay, well, once I get to this town, where do I go to eat? And where's a place I can stay overnight? And if I need to get my bike fixed, what's the best bike shop around? And so I'm a trail user myself, so I knew a lot of those answers, but I said, oh, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And the better way is by creating a program and certifying these businesses that are trail friendly. So we outlined 10 items that businesses can do to be trail friendly, from having infrastructure like bike parking, bike racks and repair stations, to hosting events, to providing specials for trail users, to supporting trails through advocacy. And if they do at least 6 out of 10 things, they get certified as a D&L trail friendly business. And I'm proud to say that we have over 25 different businesses all throughout the corridor that do provide great service, from the Inn at Jim Thorpe to Genesis Bicycles, all the way up and down the corridor, from the Crazy Chicken Lady, from food, Muller's, Chantilly Goods. So there's a lot of really awesome places. And so you can click on here, see the list of bike shops, food and drink, lodging, shopping, and outdoor recreation. And these businesses, they run the gamut from Blue Mountain Resort, which is the largest employer in Carbon County, to Otter's Odds and Ends, a small antique shop in Whitehaven. So there's a great variety of the services and things that they provide, but all of them are super trail friendly. I can say without a doubt that they will be able to help you and get you set, and they really are big supporters of the trail. So this is a great place to go if you want to get help for getting gear or planning a trip, or need an overnight stay around there. So these are great places to reach out to. And this year in 2021, we will be adding new businesses in. So if you're a business and interested in becoming trail friendly, please get in contact with the D&L, or you can talk to your other people, and we'll be rolling out new ones this spring. So we already have some new ones that have qualified. Okay, so that is an overview of the Plan Your Trip page. We've been spending a lot of time trying to put this information online, getting everything in one place so that people can plan a trip and come from either out of state or just the next town over and really have a great experience. The D&L Trail is an amazing trail. I tell people all the time, it's like a choose your own adventure book. I tell people, tell me what you're into, and I can tell you a place that you can go on the trail. If you're interested in nature, we have great state parks in rural areas where you don't see a house or a building for miles. Waterfalls, lakes, the Lehigh River, the Delaware River, it's beautiful. If you're into history, we have all these great museums like the National Canal Museum right off the D&L Trail, historic locks, ruins, buildings, interpretive signs, so much history in this area, from all the way back to the Lenape, to the Revolutionary War, to the industrial heritage that we really celebrate. If you are into outdoor recreation, great place to bike. Lehigh River is one of the best rivers on the East Coast to paddle. You can get in lots of miles, have lots of fun. If you are into big cities, if we will eventually connect into Wilkes-Barre, you can go just about into Philadelphia on the southern end. Allentown, the third largest city in the state, is here. But then we also have these great small towns and small cities like Easton or Bethlehem, Jim Thorpe, New Hope, that are just can provide arts, entertainment, lodging, all sorts of great things. So, they are a great resource that you can come to. And when the trail is connected, when the trail is finally here and going all the way from Bristol all the way to Wilkes-Barre, this will be a world-class trail that people from across the country, California, Georgia, Arizona will come to, and also people from other countries will come to. So we're very lucky to have this in our backyard, and we're very lucky to all the D&L Trail landowners who help support this. So we hope this is a useful thing. If you go to Delaware and Lehigh.org, you can find the Plan Your Trip page and use this. We've had some questions come in, so I'm going to try to do my best to answer as many questions as we can. So you can put questions into the chat, and I will try to answer them. So first question I see up on here is, any progress on finishing the trail north to Wilkes-Barre? So this is a common question that we get. We currently have 146 miles of trail, but we eventually want to go all the way from Wilkes-Barre to Bristol. That will give us a trail system somewhere looking around over 170 miles. We're not exactly sure the exact mileage because we're not exactly sure the exact route. The majority of trail left to build is in Luzerne County. Currently, it ends at the Black Diamond Trailhead, which is in by Mountaintop in the Glen Summit area. And so we are actively working with local municipalities, the Luzerne County planning authorities, Luzerne County government, DCNR, Bureau of Forestry, to try to get this trail built. It's not easy. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but with the support of members, local communities, and donors, it's going to be able to happen eventually. So everybody wants to know an exact date. Unfortunately, it's not an exact date. This is something that is, very big projects, very complicated. They take a while. Next question. For Boy Scouts who use the trail, are there any camping facilities? Yes, there are camping facilities. So along the D&L Trail, you cannot camp just anywhere along the trail. You can only camp in designated places. So there are a few places that are immediately adjacent to the trail, like in East Penn Township. They have built a campground right at the trailhead, right next to the trail. There's some other ones further down in Bucks County, like Tinicum Park, that are right along the trail. And then there's other places that are just like right off the trail a little bit. So, maybe if you're in the Jim Thorpe area looking up at going towards Mock Chunk, or one of our trail friendly businesses is the Lizard Campground in Lehighton. It's just off the trail. So, there are great places that you can camp near or right on the trail, but only in designated campgrounds. Another question I see here is about cell phone reception. Is there cell phone reception along the whole trail? The vast majority of the trail does have cell phone reception. So that could be, obviously it depends by your carrier and where you are. The only area that does not have consistent cell phone service is in the inner parts of Lehigh Gorge State Park. So from in between Whitehaven and Jim Thorpe, there are 24 miles of the D&L Trail in Lehigh Gorge State Park. That is incredibly beautiful. You don't see any buildings. It's just the river, the mountains, the hillsides, the trail, waterfalls. And so as you get further in there, there are sections of it that don't have cell phone services. Some parts do, but the majority of it doesn't. But the rest of it does have cell phone service. So you're always in reach of a phone call of somebody, which can be good or bad. Sometimes it's nice to get out to the places where you don't have your phone. I always like being out on the D&L Trail and just kind of disconnecting. We have a question like, if you use the ride with GPS, does it drain your phone battery? Yes, it does use your phone batteries. Different phones, it can vary about how much it is. but it also has a version where you can download it to your phone and use it in essentially airplane mode. It'll still be able to navigate you. It uses less battery, and that's a very useful trick to do. So the Ride with GPS app is used by millions of people all across the world. A really popular app for navigating and really, really useful. See another question about camping. Camping is one of the most popular questions I do get around there. What is being done to develop camping locations near the trail? Well, the D&L, we have worked with some of the landowners like Northampton County at Wyatt Tuck Trailhead. It's a county park, and they have they are opening it up to allow hiker bikers to camp on it this year. We worked with East Penn Township to develop a campground around there. There are some private businesses that are developing campgrounds along the trail. So there will be more of them coming. And this is a great resource for people who want to do overnight trips or just drive up, camp at a campground, maybe one day go one direction and then the next day go another direction. Got a question of, can you mark areas you've been on the app like a journal? I assume this question is about the Ride with GPS app. You can take photos, log them in there, write notes, and it records a record of your trip. So how fast you went, how many miles you did, and yeah, you can fill out other details, say who you went with, or upload photos with it. So it does actually serve like a journal. Another question here about updates of connecting the trail between Northampton and Allentown. So this is what we call the Lehigh Valley Gap. So in between Northampton Canal Street Park down to Overlook Park in Allentown, there is a gap where the trail currently does not really exist. We are actively working with the landowners, elected officials to close this gap and also to build trail on the west side of the Lehigh River. This will provide a great alternative transportation route for people who want to commute or connect in to other ways, and it'll be a great asset to the Lehigh Valley. We are currently, our #1 project that we are working on is to build 1.5 miles of trail from Northampton through North Catasauqua all the way to the Catasauqua border, which would complete Northampton County, all the D&L Trail in Northampton County. We are actively working with the Northampton County government, who's put in money through their Livable Landscapes program, Pennsylvania DCNR, who's contributed money. And we are hoping to go to construction on that section this year. We still need to raise some more money to do it, but we are hopeful that that will be able to happen. On top of that, we have our other partners like Lehigh County, who's actively working on sections in Catasauqua to continue viewing. So this is a team effort, and we definitely need the public support to talk to your local elected officials, your state elected officials, and say, these trails really matter. They make a difference to you. You want to see them, and you are interested in helping them be supported and making this happen as quick as possible. Question about shuttle service. Yeah, so sometimes when people like to do multi-day trips, they want to park at one end of the trail, get shuttled up to the other end, and then ride their bike back. It's a very efficient way of doing it. You can arrange that like with your friends. Sometimes, a friend or a family member will be able to drop you off and do that. But there are businesses that do that. Businesses like the Pocono Biking or the Lehighton Outdoor Center, both D&L Trail friendly businesses. So you can call them up and make arrangements for trips, both long distance shuttles, but also day shuttles. So if you just want to do a section, a very popular one is the Lehigh Gorge section. People will start in either Lehighton or Jim Thorpe, get shuttled up to Whitehaven or Black Diamond, and then ride the trail all the way back. So you can choose a distance that's suitable for you, and have a great day. That's an awesome ride to do. Lots of people do that. Saw somebody put a note in about encountering off-road vehicles on the trail. Well, the trail is that is not allowed. So the D&L Trail is a non-motorized trail. The only motorized use allowed on the trail is well, besides, the landowners who sometimes have to use, vehicles to access it for maintenance and repairs. In the wintertime, from Whitehaven to Rockport, the Lehigh Gorge State Park allows snowmobiles to access it. But the rest of the trail does not allow ATVs, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, any other thing. So, people are choosing the D&L Trail for many reasons because it is a safe, non-motorized, separated from traffic. Now, we do have a few sections of the trail that are share the road sections. So that would be like in Weisport, when you're crossing Bridge Street, across from Weisport over to Lehighton, where the trail goes along the road, or in Whitehaven, where it goes along Main Street. But these are generally short sections, less than a mile long. The vast majority of the D&L Trail is off of the separated from traffic. So a question, what is happening going south from Quakertown? I think this is talking about not the D&L Trail, actually other trails. And so this is a good thing to bring up our other trail networks. So the D&L Trail is a long distance trail that kind of forms the spine, but there are other trails that go off of it, like the Slate Heritage Trail, the Norbath Trail, or the Palmer Trail. And we're actively working with other partners like the Circuit Trail Network outside of Philadelphia. And so there are building trails that are going to hopefully connect up through Quakertown, up to the Saucon Valley Trail through Hellertown, into Bethlehem along the South Bethlehem Greenway, and then eventually, connect up with the D&L Trail. We also have really long distance trails like the East Coast Greenway, which is a 3,000-mile trail, which will go from the border of Canada and Maine all the way down the East Coast to Key West. The 10 miles of trail from Morrisville down to Bristol is an overlay of that. They share that segment. And then there's other trails like the 9/11 National Memorial Trail that connects up with the D&L as it connects the three sites: the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, and the Shanksville Flight 97 area. So these are other long distance trails. So you can go even further than the 146 miles we currently have. Really good question up here. And this is something that we're getting to see more and more about. Okay, what's long-term parking lots for those biking the entire trail? The vast majority of trailheads, you are not allowed to park overnight. Most of the trail is operated as a park, which is open from dawn till dusk. So you're not allowed to park overnight. So this is actually a question I'm getting more and more often now. So where would you park your car if you wanted to do a 4-day trip, a 3-day trip, or an overnight trip? There's different options. Sometimes you can find like a nearby kind of like parking lot or like a park and ride. For example, so say you wanted to park in Bristol and you get a shuttle up to the top and come all the way back down. In Bristol, there's a SEPTA park and ride that they allow overnight parking in. Sometimes you can find local businesses or lodging place that you're going to stay in on your first or last night will allow you to park your vehicle there while you're doing the over the trip. Or sometimes there are nearby, public parking on the streets that you can just find and park and then, connect into the trail and go from there. We are working with our landowners and working with trail-friendly businesses to help make this more of a more common thing. And because this is something that people are asking more and more for. Are the off-road sections well marked? So the majority of the trail is off the road. You have this linear trail So it's not super confusing, but there are places where you can go through. We've been working with the landowners to put up like mile markers. So you see this continual sign of where you're at. We put around special guides, like little arrows that tell you when there's turns, trail intersection signs. So, most people find the trail to be fairly straightforward to navigate. And we try to put those little breadcrumbs along to help you find the wayfinding and navigation. So hopefully it is useful, and you can always ask other trail users. You generally will see other people out there on the trail. Lots of them are locals, they know about it, and you can answer, be happy to answer your questions. Question about electric assist bicycles. So e-bikes is a new and emerging trend that's very exciting. If you haven't ridden one, I dare you to ride one and not smile. They are bikes that have a small electric motor in that helps people when they pedal along them. There are different classes of them, class 1, class 2, class 3. The class 1s are what's called pedal assist, so there's no throttle. You have to be pedaling for it to engage the motor and push you along a little bit. And these are allowed on the D&L Trail. In the state of Pennsylvania, they are classified as bicycles, so they are just as legal anywhere a bicycle can go, they can go. So they are allowed on the trail. The ones that have throttles and can go faster, those ones are not allowed currently. These e-bikes are great, especially if you have maybe a member of your family or a friend who's not really a strong bike rider, and you can get them out there, and all of a sudden that person can go, really, can cover large distances, and they're just so much fun. So like I said, no motorized vehicles. We have questions about assistive vehicles, so maybe like a Segway or other devices. Those are only allowed as mobility devices. So if you are a handicapped person and need to use them as a handicap for there. Good. So those are some of the questions that came in. Frequently I'll get asked, what's my favorite section of the D&L Trail? And I say that's really hard for me to say. I like all of them, but what I really enjoy about the D&L Trail is that they're such a different feel and different sections of it. So the anthracite region in Carbon Luzerne has this very nature, wilderness almost feel to it, where you can get away and see, beavers and, waterfalls and the river. Frequently, we get reports of people, coming across bears in this section of there. And so you have a real wilderness feel, which is just awesome to get out and get away from things. In the Lehigh Valley, we have this great history. We have these great museums, and you can see the industrial heritage. You go right by on the other side of the river from Bethlehem Steel Stacks. We have the National Canal Museum, where you can come and experience the history, take a canal boat ride, really get to learn and enjoy about what it was that fueled America's Industrial Revolution. And then in the Delaware Canal section is very scenic and idyllic, and you have these great pastoral landscapes. And as you get down in the more urban areas, you have these big towns, and you get down to Bristol, and it has a very different feel to it. So these are great places to visit. Go and schedule different trips, do it all at once, do it as different day trips. And then you can even build off trails of it. I really enjoy in the Bucks County what we call the loop trails. On the Pennsylvania side, there is the D&L Trail, and then on the New Jersey side, there is the D&R Trail, the Delaware and Raritan. And so you can combine by going over bridges. You can make up to a 70-mile loop in between Trenton and Morrisville in the south, up to Frenchtown and Ullerstown in the north. And so you can do different variations around Lambertville and New Hope and all the way Yardley around there. And that's a beautiful, great way to spend on there. Another great thing about the southern portion of the trail, and I see somebody has a question like, I'm from Philadelphia. What's a good beginner trail? One, the whole entire D&L Trail is a flat, generally less than 1% gradient trail. So it's generally a crushed stone surface. There are some places where it's paved, and some places where the trail will vary in width from maybe down to 4 feet up to 10 feet in width. So it's a very beginner friendly trail. But another cool thing that you can do from the Philadelphia region is that you can connect to the trail by trains. So by SEPTA, there are SEPTA stations in Bristol and Tullytown, Levittown, and Yardley. So you can put your bike on the train, go up to, say Yardley, bike all the way up to New Hope, have something to eat, bike back down, get back on the train, and go right back. There's also Amtrak. So you can connect in from New York City or from Boston or from DC. So, this is a great way to, connect into the trail. And, you can do it all by public transportation. Take the train up, bring your bike on, get off, bike however far you want to, 1, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, and then, get back on the train and go back home. So there's really a lot of interesting adventures that you can have. And especially if you are a little bit more adventurous of a rider and feel comfortable going off of the D&L Trail, you can connect into some really amazing places, other campgrounds or cool parks or different towns and art places. Or like I said, connecting into some of these side trails can really make you go anywhere from a 2-mile walk on the trail to a 200-mile multi-day adventure. So it's all about finding what your passion is and finding what you are interested about. And I saw somebody put in there, yes, if you request through the D&L website, you can request to have some of these brochures mailed to you. We can mail some of the brochures, or you can go on and you can purchase the guidebook, and that will be a great resource for everybody. So the last thing I wanted to say was we want everybody to get involved. We want everybody to take that next step. And there's a variety of next steps for what that be. The most important thing is we want you to visit the trail and bring a friend, patronize a trail-friendly business. You can volunteer with the D&L to help out, be a trail tender, be an ambassador, and help us. You can write letters of support to your local elected officials. You can make a donation or become a member or renew your membership. Members help provide critical resources to make a lot of these information, to share this on the website, but also help us build the trail, help us connect the trail to get it fully built between Wilkes-Barre and Bristol. And then also you can visit us in the National Canal Museum. You can see here's the info at delawareandlehigh.org, which is our standard email that you can reach us at, or the phone number 610-923-3548, and visit us at our headquarters at Humor Park in Easton, and always delawareandlehigh.org. The Canal Museum is canals.org. And yeah, we really want to say thank you, and that we hope we see you out on the trail. All right, well, we hope everybody has a good evening. We will post this on our website, on YouTube, and it'll be available on Facebook Live. So if you wanted to watch it again to get some other suggestions, you can connect in with that way. But thanks so much to everybody. Have a good night. We're looking forward to spring and seeing everybody on the D&L Trail soon.